What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today's the day. Today is a good day, and well, I want to start by saying big thanks to ASG Remscheid. Go check them out on Instagram. They have an amazing dealership of crazy cars, and they have provided this 992 GT3 RS today, which is just incredible to me. Big thanks to those guys for making it happen and letting us have a go with their GT3 RS, because it is a hard car to get our hands on. So yeah, it is really appreciated. Go check them out. Instagram is on screen right now. Make sure you follow those guys. So today we've got the 992 GT3 RS in this Batman spec. This thing is black on black on black. This is what Bruce Wayne would take to the track. It is so angry. Of course, you do lose a bit of the contrast of all the black plastics, all the aero that make this car special, but then again, you do gain this badass car. So I'm going to show you around it. We're going to talk a bit about the car. Of course, let me just say a disclaimer. You need to drive this car on track to really feel what it can do. We don't have a track. We drive it on this B road on the Autobahn. Maybe one day we'll drive it on the track, but for today, this is it. And I'm going to try to explain to you as best I can what it feels like on the road. It is so outrageous. Just looking at it, the presence of this car is so crazy. I really love it. So at the front, normally you have 3 radiators with every other 992, but with this car we've got a forward leaning radiator in the center here. As you can see, probably, hope you guys can see that, but it's like that over here instead of down there, and that means that you free up a lot of space that they need for the active aero that sits right there and there, so under there. So you've got flaps that move around in conjunction with the rear spoiler to give you more or less downforce, and that means that a lot of hot air is coming out of these heat extraction vents of the carbon bonnet. Absolutely lovely. So all this hot air goes out here, and then these blades make sure that it goes that way. But then what happens is the air travels down the side of the car, and normally it would go up here again and then into the engine, or well, into the intakes. And you don't want that. Porsche says that the difference between 20 or 30 degree intake temperature is about 15 horsepower. So what they did is they mounted these fins on the roof to guide the air that comes out of those holes away from the intake at the rear. That is so cool. I really love that. And when you put your hand out of the window, you can actually feel the hot air coming from those vents. So it checks out. I checked it for you guys. Physics checks out. So good job, Porsche. It is just wow. So we've got big winglets here. All the vents and the winglets, the spoilers are here to basically to reduce lift. They want to get that air out of the wheel wells and down the side of the car as soon as possible, so you don't have lift at the front axle. So as I said, we've got underbody aero, active aero, and very aggressive passive aero as well. So beautiful. You can even see like the body curving away here, getting the air out of there. Also, this front bumper here, you can see how the body is shaped to guide air and to not make it go up but go down here and keep it low. Super cool. Wing mirrors in carbon, roof is carbon, the front wings are carbon, the bonnet is carbon. Then the big 2-piece rear wing, carbon fiber. Of course also active, so this is basically your DRS. This thing can open and close in 1/3 of a second, and when it's in its most aggressive setting, it provides 860 kilos of downforce at 285 kilometers an hour. But when you hit the DRS, so it opens, it goes to 306. So in like 1/3 of a second. So that is properly insane. Big winglets here as well. Just those cutouts from the body, those make it look so crazy. Wheels and tires, almost forgot that. This is a Weissach package car, so we have the magnesium wheels, center locks, absolutely gorgeous. Carbon ceramic brakes behind that, a 20-inch wheel at the front, 275 tire. These are Pirelli P0 Corsas. And then at the rear, we've got an absolutely massive 335 section tire 21 inch. Absolutely insane. That is so wide. So crazy. And then diffuser at the rear. Let me just check if I can see any active parts there as well. Don't think so. So maybe the height is actually adjustable, because I can see a little ridge there. But yeah, this thing, just look at it. Look at that. Outrageous. I thought the GT3 had a big wing. Well, then they came out with this thing. ASG Remscheid, go check them out. Big thanks again. I mean, just the fact that we are able to do this is quite incredible. So we can't really show you the engine, of course, because it sits in there, but it is the Boxer 6 4-liter with 525 horsepower and 465 newton meters of torque. So it's up 15 horsepower from the GT3. It's also 15 kilos heavier than a GT3 because of all the added parts, like the big wing, all the aero, the fatter tires and a wider track. But 15 kilos is not that much, and you gain so much aero. So in total the car weighs 1450 kilos. Inside, the craziness does not stop. We've got carbon here on the door sills, these beautiful carbon door handles. That is crazy, with that matte finish, super nice. We've got the cloth door pulls, and we do lose the frunk, of course, because you have that radiator there, so you have no storage at all except for behind the seats, which are the gorgeous carbon buckets, Weizsäck RS there on the seat as well, and this insane carbon cage here at the rear. That looks so crazy. And then you have that wing. I'm curious to see if we can, so we're in low downforce mode right now. Can I actually operate that functioner? Okay, so we have to go to track. Okay, so when you're in dynamic downforce, oh, there, I think it went. Okay, so now it should be, yeah, look, it's up with those Porsche letters up there. That is crazy, super cool. So when you're driving it, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so this is the low drag mode. When you're driving it, I don't think you can actually see it, but you can hear it, which is quite cool. So as you can see, we've got 4 buttons on the steering wheel right here. PASM is for the suspension, PTV is for the torque vectoring plus, ESC traction control over here, and then the driving mode. So if we go to track, for instance, we can also adjust all these settings. So if we go to PASM, we get 4 buttons to control everything: compression front and rear, and rebound front and rear. So you can actually just play with that. Compression minus plus and rebound minus plus. And apparently if you have it in track mode and then dial up the compression, that is the most comfortable setting. That is the best road setting, basically. You can also change the PTV, so you have your coast and your power. Coast is basically the rotation of your rear when you're going into a corner, and power, of course, is accelerating out of a corner. And then you have the ESC right here, which you can turn on in dynamic or off. So off, and then you still have traction control over there. So everything off is the best, because you have 525 horsepower and 335 rubber. So yeah, you don't really need traction control, to be honest. It sticks to the road. So let's get going. PDK gearbox, of course, which is just perfect as always. And then we've got aerodynamics, dynamic downforce over there with a DRS notification, and then we have a DRS button right there, so we're definitely going to check that out. Manual mode. Oh, and we've got magnetic pedals as well. That is just so delicious. Alcantara steering wheel, so good. Okay, so driving it on the road, I mean, this is really not what you should buy this car for. You should buy this car if you go to the track on a regular basis. but that does not mean that you can't enjoy it on the road. But I'm just not going to get anywhere near the limits of the car. I'm going to reach my own limits much earlier. Oh my god, that 9,000 RPM flat 6 is so crazy. It really is. So how does it feel compared to a GT3? It feels like a GT3 on steroids. Everything is so much more direct, so much more aggressive. So if we go to BASM now and just dial up the compression, what happens? Okay, so that feels very good, very good. That feels a lot looser. And if we turn it all the way down, oh yeah, wow. Oh, that is a big difference. Okay, so that's how that works. That does work, definitely. So, of course, the main thing about this aero is that it continuously pushes you down more the faster you go. That also means that you need to go way too fast for public roads to really notice that downforce. It's just very grippy. That's basically what it feels like. We can hit DRS now, so I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but DRS active. Okay, so it's active now, so I think it decides for itself now if it should engage or not. Which basically means I think above 5,500 RPM, 95% throttle, less than 0.9 G lateral acceleration, and then it opens up or something like that. Oh, it is so capable, this is the biggest difference. That turn in compared to a GT3 is much crispier in the GT3 RS. But before we hit the Autobahn, let me show you petrol vibes. These things, you've seen them before on our channel. We absolutely love them. We've got them here in the workshop. We've got them in the sim room upstairs as well. This is the Ford GT. As you can see, we have it against this wooden wall now, so you have a different effect compared to the wall upstairs. But these things are amazing. The design is great. They are laser cut from steel, and you can have a custom design of your own car as well, which is mega. They also now have different versions available. So they have a neon one, which is backlit, looks super cool. They have a standing one, which is a bit smaller for your desk or something like that. They also have a frame with different angles, and for some cars they also have a front or rear angle or a top angle available. But go check out petrolvibes.com for all the different versions. Again, you can make one of your own car as well. Just send in a pic and they will make a design of your specific car with your accessories. Looks super cool. And use code AUTOTOPNL10 for a 10% discount. Enjoy the video. Oh, no way. Okay, so get a bit more compression. Relatively limited, of course, 296 kilometers an hour because of the aero. Okay, so let's get a bit more, a bit softer. Like that. And there we go. Oh. Quick. So it's more about the drive high speeds, then it really is about the speed. It's a quick car. We did 7.5 seconds, 100 to 200, which is not bad. But what strikes me is that it's still quite civilized in here. What's that, 298, 9, 300. It's still quite civilized. I think, you know, tire noise is not that bad. It still feels quite civilized and quiet. Well, not quiet in the sense of engine noise, but quiet in the sense of road and wind noise. It's incredible. Here, let's check them out. That's very good. Oh, it's so stable. That is outrageous. This is basically the top speed, I think. 305. Have to brake. Incredible 410mm carbon ceramics. Ah, this has to be one of the best cars I've ever driven. Oh, it is so good. Everything feels so good. The brake pedal, the steering, the gearbox. The suspension, I mean, I know I'm not even scratching the surface of the capabilities of this car, but still, it's so enjoyable. I think if you get like the Bilsterberg track for yourself and then just fiddle around with all these settings, oh, I could spend a couple of weeks there, I think. Like a race car, it really does. So let's turn that compression down again, hit this corner. Oh no way, that is crazy. Oh, it will just turn in. It doesn't really matter. Martijn said it feels like a GT3 and a McLaren 765 LT had a baby, and I completely agree. It does feel like that. It's that quick turn in is so crazy. It just goes. It doesn't need to think about it. It just goes. So of course we also have launch control. Now I hope that I can show you guys over there. So 0 to 100, 3.2 seconds. Yeah, that is so good. Oh, jeez Louise. You can feel the hot air. That's so cool. Okay guys, I'm running out of petrol, so I'm going to end it here. Wow, wow, wow. Just an incredible experience. Again, not really close to what this car can do, but still very enjoyable to drive it on the road. There's definitely a big difference compared to a GT3, even on the road. It just feels so much more as an attack dog. It's crazy. It really is. Massive thanks to ASG Remscheid for coming and letting us have a go in this car. I hope you enjoyed watching the car on our channel. To you, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the big button. You can check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.